Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Today is day 2 of our 2-week challenge, and I'm your host, Andrea Eppy. So welcome back, everyone. Thanks for everyone who tuned in on Monday and Tuesday, and I'm so excited to see you guys all back. I have a very fun challenge for you guys today. We're going to do another virtual reality sort of 360 photo design today. If you joined for, I think it was in June, we did another one similar to that. So welcome everyone in the chat. We've got Christian, hey Sam, Joshua, I saw your work on Discord. Thank you for sharing that. It was awesome. We've got Laura, Oksana, Aaron, Mallory, Santaji, lots of you guys. Santaji was like, hello and good morning, afternoon, evening, midnight to all. Just covering all of our bases. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna hop on over to Behance. And if you want to follow along with me, this is behance.net/challenge/XD. And we can go ahead and get started on today's challenge. So as always, if you're not already registered, go ahead and sign up with this big blue button right there, and you will get notified each day at 8 a.m. in your Creative Cloud app up here that there's a new challenge. So let's scroll on down and see what today's challenge is. So yesterday we worked on that swiping, sort of auto-animate animation there with our digital wallet, and today we're going to be working in auto animate. So I want you guys to design a virtual tour experience for a museum. Since everything is virtual these days anyway, I thought this would be a fun one to do. And if you want to do something that's not a museum, maybe a tour of your home or something, that would be cool too. So I want you to allow users to view different rooms and design an indicator displaying which room they're in. So very fun one today. And yes, welcome everyone that's just joining in. And if you want to, you can grab that starter file, just hit get started. This will take you over to Dropbox, hit download, direct download. You know the drill by now. It's that starter file with the resource booklet and everything to get you started. And if you missed any of these streams, you can always go back and rewatch them. So that is the challenge for today. Of course, be sure to join our community chat over on Discord. Discord is our XD server where you guys can ask questions and get feedback on your work if you would like it. So that you can either sign up by this link up there or all the way down here. And this is what Discord looks like. So let's see. Lots of you guys have been posting your work in the current challenge channel. I loved seeing some of these. We've got a bunch of these by C2GX. I'll look at some of these towards the end of the stream if we have time, but these are from yesterday. So fun. I love looking at those. So keep sharing your work. I'll keep checking those throughout the day and giving you guys feedback. So that is Discord, and if you have any questions about anything I'm doing, you can either ask me here in the chat on Behance or in Discord afterwards if you want. So that is Discord. All right, so let's go ahead and hop on over to XD. I've got this started, and yesterday you guys said you wanted to see the sneak peeks at the beginning of the stream, so I'm gonna do that again today. It's not really a sneak peek, it's really just revealing it all. So this is what we're gonna do. This is a virtual museum website. If you want to do a mobile app instead, that is totally fine. But we just want to focus on this area here where users can sort of look through a 360-degree photo. And I will give you a little trick for how you can use anywhere in the world from Google Maps to get a 360 photo. So here's our like fake museum. And if we just use our little indicator down here, this is like the whole room in the museum or maybe the whole museum. And you'll see that when we click through each of these, this little indicator sort of moves with auto animate to show us where we are within the whole museum, as well as this whole area. We can kind of see the room moving as well. And then it focuses on different pieces of art within that room. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is a very fun one. I love like VR and AR sort of designs. So anytime I can do that, I always want to put that in. Yes, so let me know if you guys have any questions while I'm designing. Okay, so we're going to be working in Auto Animate, and that will be in the prototype tab. It'll kind of be more towards the end is where you'll see us actually animating it, but that will be right here under the Action tab. So you'll do this little drop down under Type, and you will choose Auto Animate. And for inspiration, I mean, there's not really, at least that I know of, there's not really anything out there like this. So you guys get the chance to create something totally new. But these are just some nice examples, I thought. Some exhibits and events. You can show like a map view sort of, but instead inside the museum if you want. Something like that. And of course, we've got the resource booklet. Let me hop back into the design tab. As always, hop through some of these if you want to look through some of my favorite resources. And we'll get to the tips from today. So think of this as a virtual 3D tour of any museum you'd like to visit, or your house, or just wherever. An art museum, history museum, you can decide. And you want to consider what extra details you want to show for each room. So in my case, as I showed you, sort of picking out those specific statues or pieces of art that you want the user to focus on. And then, of course, share your work on Behance or Discord when you're done. If you're sharing on Behance, you can share with the keyword XD Daily Challenge. And I'll show you how to do that at the end. All right, so this one, we are going to use several different artboards. It just depends on how many steps you want to have throughout your room in the museum or throughout the whole museum. So that's how many artboards you're going to have. So we're just kind of keeping it simple up here. We've got the logo, we've got a few of these, just like the menu, and I really want this area right here of the actual museum itself to really draw all the attention. So I don't want to have a bunch of other colors or, nothing too crazy throughout the rest of the screen. And so over here, so I chose this one. This is where I went last year, Accademia Galleria in Florence. So that's where I chose. We've got a little drop down here. I think the only other thing we need is just like a menu navigational icon up here and a settings icon maybe. And I already had these icons just pre-made, but just rounding out that. And then maybe like searching through some different tags of different type of art within the museum. And then here, I just left space for, maybe we can call out some different pieces of work within the museum. So I'm gonna just drag these. And this would be like your scroll group. So if you wanted to do that, you could use this one right here for scroll groups. But I'm not gonna really focus on that area too much. So for the actual museum, let's just start by making a mask. And I'm just gonna start with a rectangle here, kind of lining it up with this area on the right side and the left grid over here. And let's just make this an actual color so we can actually see it. Doesn't really matter what color. And I'll round those corners a tad bit because you guys know I love my rounded corners. And then for actually inside here, what I did, so this is my trick that I just found out this morning actually when I was working on this. Okay, so here I just brought in for my components panel. This might look super funky since we're looking at it. It's a 360 degree photo. And you can actually find these just on like Adobe Stock if you search 360 photo of like a house, or it's mostly houses that they have there. But you can also do it with Google Maps, which is so cool. And what we want to do is we're just gonna mask and we zoom in to different areas. So like we'll zoom in here, we'll zoom in maybe here. And when you're zoomed in, you really can't tell that it's all like curved like this. So that is the trick that we're gonna use. And I'm not really gonna focus like over here because that looks a little funky. But so I use this app. It's called Street View Download 360 if you do want to get a 360 photo. And just go to Google Maps, copy that URL of anywhere you want to use a photo of, and put it right here, and it will make it a panorama 360 photo like this. So this is what we're going to focus on. Now what I could do is go ahead and like put it on this artboard and then go ahead and mask it like that. And that was Shift Command M to mask. But I will say when you're doing these 360 photos and we're going to be adding some of those little like indicators, sort of calling out different pieces of art, it's a little easier to do it since this photo is really big and I want to zoom in. It's a little easier to do it when it's just off the whole artboard first. So this is what it's going to look like, but let's just copy the image for now and we'll work on it outside of the artboard. So let's zoom in. So usually I'll start from left to right and let's just start over here. So what I want to do is let's just say, okay, we're looking at this one. So I want to call this out just by having a circle somewhere on this painting, and I'll make it just a border, 4 pixels or so. And then above this is a very big picture. Yeah, thanks Sam for putting that link of the Street View app. It is free, so anyone can download it, and it's in the chat if you want to as well. So I've made this little component down here. This is just sort of going to call out some different areas that we're going to use. Yes, and let's add some text. And if I just like double click in just a circle, an icon, and this is a circle with a little triangle thing at the bottom. So very simple there. It's got a drop shadow also. Let's add some text. So let's just say, and I do not know what this painting is called, so I'm just gonna make it up. Let's say this is like lady running from something. And let's see, I've got some different character styles already kind of called out here. Let's see, what do I want? I want this to be white because I can't really see it. Running, not run in. Lady running from something, that'll be the title. And we'll say this was made in Florence in 1845. And then we'll bring these like right here. And I want the title to be drawing more attention, so I'm going to bring down the opacity of that subtitle a little bit. And okay, so that looks fine. Now I just want to kind of copy all of that and use that same, I guess we can call this whole thing a component, for the rest of the statues in this museum. So let's just Command G and to group it, and then we can copy and paste it, and then let's pick out a few more. I think I want like 5 or so steps that we can go through. So let's do this one. And what we can do is make this a little bigger. Do make sure that if you're resizing this whole group, you turn off responsive resize, otherwise the text might not grow with the rest of it. So this one, what should we call this one? Just like Mother with Children. And Florence 1845. And then let's copy and paste this again. Let's pick another one, maybe one of these gals. Make this a little bit smaller. I think it does, it's like a nice effect when you're kind of zooming in and zooming out while you're panning across the screen. So do add, like make this smaller and larger in different spots. Okay, cool. Joshua said, we're looking at the big picture. Yes. This thing is huge next to me. I could be like sitting on one of these things. Okay, so this we'll just call, I don't know. I'll give it my name. Andrea Eppie. Ahead of their time. And we'll do this one. So this one we need to make pretty big. So let's make this like this. Call that one out. We'll say this is kids taking a nap. And okay, maybe 2 more. So I'll copy this. We'll do, I want to mix it up with the paintings and the statues. So I'll do this one over here. This one's looking a little grim. I'll just say sad day. Guys, don't ask me to name your art because clearly it's not going too well. All right, and then let's see. Maybe someone over here. One of these guys. These guys looking interesting. Unique mustache man. That's what this one is called. Okay, so we've got all of the names of our art and our sculptures, so that is looking good. Let's go ahead and now we can just, yes, Joshua said, looks like 1845 was a very creative year. Yeah, I didn't bother with changing the years for all those. All right, so let's just group all of these. I'm just selecting everything and then Command G to group. And now what I'm gonna do is just Command X to cut it, and we'll just replace this whole thing and paste it in there. So now when we go ahead and we hop into the prototype tab and we sort of start like going all around, everything will just stay in the same spot that we want it to be in. So we'll start right here in the center. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's just go right here. One thing I notice is that the text is still a little bit too light. There's not enough contrast. So what I'm gonna do is just add a gradient, a radial gradient. Let's start with it outside of the mask. Sometimes I feel like that helps just not make it too confusing. So we'll do a radial gradient. That's in the drop down up here. Change these both to black, and this one will bring down the opacity so we can see it. And then the whole thing will bring down the opacity of that. So that's a little better. And let's cut that and just put it in here. So let's make sure, actually, I want it to be within this group. Let's open that. And let's see. That's fine. I think that'll work. Okay. I want to bring this to the back. There we go. Okay. That looks better. All right. And it's still a little bit dark, so let's bring this down just a tad bit. All right, so now we need to make our little map over here. So let's do that. Just gonna be, or I already have a little rectangle. Just gonna be a rectangle, and we will add our little navigational icon right here. And then I'm just going to use some little dots kind of scattered throughout to show, hey, these are the different pieces of art. And I'll make all of these black. I think we had 5. Copy and paste. One here and one here. And then I want to add this little circle. Okay, so let's make sure this is in front. And we can just group these two together, Command G to group. And actually, let's just group all the dots as well. And bring down that opacity again, because those were kind of drawing our attention too much. All right, so that is like the basic layout. Now all we need to do is just hop into the prototype tab. Let's select the whole artboard, so select the title right here. And we're just gonna copy and paste the same thing from artboard to artboard. And just slightly move all of these things around a bit. And let's move this here. And what I'm gonna do is bring down the opacity of, if we still see like this one, we still see a bit, let's just bring it down to like 30. So it's not the main focus. And make sure we move the little gradient box. You don't have to use that gradient box if you don't want to. I just think it kind of helps draw your attention to the art itself a little bit. And then make sure you move this up a bit too. And let's just do the same exact thing. So I'm moving the background to wherever we want the next art to be. We can bring this up. This thing is getting huge. Bring that up. So this is the main focus. I'll bring this down to like 30. Bring this over a bit. Our little gradient. And again, we'll bring this guy right here, since we're on the 3rd. And same thing for this. Let's drag this over. And this one's going to be really big, so we need to make this way smaller. Okay, so that one looks good. Let's bring this over. And you'll notice the gradient box will get smaller and larger depending on, you know, kind of where you're moving everything else. So just make sure you adjust that too. And then we can move this over as well. Kids taking a nap. Not the most creative name, but that's okay. And we've got 2 more, I believe. Can zoom this one out a bit. That looks good. Oops. Move our gradient and move our little navigation. Okay, I'm just gonna do 4. I think you guys get the idea. Bring this down a bit too. All right, so now let's go back to the very first one, hop back into our prototype tab, and here, just select whichever little circle you want, drag it to the next artboard, and we'll do a tap trigger, and then auto animate. And I would recommend doing the duration to 1 second, just so we can really see it kind of moving from artboard to artboard. And then same with all the rest of these. So drag it over, and it should keep the same exact like tab trigger, auto animate when you go to the next artboard. So shouldn't have to worry about that. Same thing here, 1 second. Same thing here, tap with 1 second. All right, so let's go ahead and preview. Yay. All right, so if we click this, boom, so fun. So even though it's a static image, that was a little quick. We could even almost do like 2 seconds. But even though it's a static image, it's just a 360 photo, it looks like it's like VR and we're really kind of moving around there. Awesome. Sad day. That was the name of that that piece of art. Okay, so that was very fun. I hope you guys do this one because I love seeing what you guys do with the VR sort of designs. All right, let's go ahead and Command S to save. And of course, next we're gonna upload to Behance. This is just one of my past projects, but make sure if you are uploading to Behance, you go over to settings, and then under settings, we've got your title, of course, project tags, and you can use tools used and stuff. But make sure in the keyword, so project tags, you add the keyword XD Daily Challenge, and that way I can find your work and give you feedback if you would like it. Awesome. Everyone is saying that they love this one. Yay. Yeah, the VR ones are always really fun. Cool. No questions that I'm seeing. Just making sure. And if you guys ever have any suggestions for XD Daily Creative Challenges, I would love to see what you guys want to work on too. Cool. So now I'm going to look at some of you guys' work just in the next few minutes that we have here. And I'm just searching on Behance, and maybe we'll look on Discord as well since I have that open, by the keyword XD Daily Challenge. And so the one from yesterday, this was swiping through some digital payment methods, or digital wallet, if you will. Joshua, I think I saw you. Yep. So let's look at yours. Joshua does so many of these. I have to commend him. Amazing work. On a smartwatch. Awesome. This is very timely with Apple's new release yesterday. I love it. This is so cool. It looks amazing. Did you guys download iOS 14 today? I think it was officially just available today. I'm excited to download that. This looks awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Joshua. Next up, we've got Annie Yang. Okay, so we've got the prototype there. Got one here, very big. Let's make this full screen if we can. Cool. I'll go back to the beginning. My wallet. Ooh, I love those gradients. Very fun. Awesome. Yeah, this is smooth. Very cool. I love this. Thank you so much for sharing, Annie, if you are watching. Let's see. Let's look on Discord. I think I saw some there too. Actually, I do not have much time left, but I do want to look at least one. Let's look at this one. Sarah. Ooh, so cute. I love the little squares. Amazing. Amazing work. Thank you, Sarah. Very smooth interactions. I love it. Sarah Sanchez. All right, guys, that's about all the time that we have left for today. So thank you guys all so much for sharing your work and for watching. I'll be on Discord after this, giving you guys some feedback if you want to submit some of your work from yesterday or today. And yeah, in about 5 minutes, we've got our draw along with Kyle Webster. So be sure you stay tuned for that. And I'll be back here again tomorrow at the same time, 2 p.m. Pacific. Have a great day, guys. Bye.